And beginning the broadcast, Nebraska's winter wheat crop was rated 48% good to excellent in the most recent USDA crop progress report. But there are problems popping up in some of the state's fields, in particular stripe rust. Nebraska Extension Plant Pathologist Wegulo just got back from surveying some of the state's wheat and joined me with an update.
So when I'm out looking at wheat fields, I'm looking for diseases, and the main diseases I'm looking for are the fungal leaf spots, mainly septorian tan spot. Those are the two major fungal leaf spots in wheat in Nebraska. And then stripe rust, which is a disease that can cause very significant damage if it explodes. So this last week I was looking specifically for stripe rust, but other diseases as well. And so I saw the fungal leaf spots, and I saw low levels of wheat streak mosaic virus. That's a virus disease. And then I'm also looking at just the wheat condition, is how is the wheat doing? And it looked great this last week.
When producers are scouting out in their fields, and you mentioned stripe rust, what are some things they need to be looking for to determine the severity of stripe rust?
So they should be looking for the symptoms. So with stripe rust, you will see yellow-orange pustules arranged in stripes on the wheat leaf. And they should be looking both on the top of the canopy and below the canopy, because stripe rust sometimes starts lower in the canopy because there's a lot more moisture in the lower canopy. So if you don't look in the lower canopy, you might miss it. And so look for those orange-yellow stripes on the leaves. And if you see them, then you know that there is stripe rust. It starts as like one stripe or two stripes, and if conditions are favorable, it can cover the entire leaf. We don't want it to get to the flag leaf. So scout, and if you see stripe rust and the weather is forecast to be wet and cool to moderate temperatures, those are the conditions that favor rapid spread of stripe rust. And then you have to plan to spray to protect the flag leaf.
Yeah, and that leads into my next question. What treatment and management options are available for producers?
So for producers, stripe rust can be controlled with fungicides, and pretty much every fungicide that is labeled for use on wheat will do a good job on stripe rust. There are few that are not labeled for stripe rust. So what you should do is look at the label, and most of the fungicides that are labeled for use on wheat will control stripe rust quite well. There are some that have excellent efficacy, others have good efficacy. A good resource is the wheat fungicide table, and it shows the different fungicides used on wheat and their efficacy in controlling the different diseases of wheat.
With stripe rust, at what level does this begin to impact yields for producers?
When you have those stripes on the flag leaf, then the yield is going to be impacted quite significantly. So when you see it, as I mentioned before, it may start in the lower canopy because there is more moisture, and then work its way up to the flag leaf. So you don't want it to be on the flag leaf. And if the severity on the flag leaf gets to like 20%, 25% of the flag leaf covered with stripes, then you start seeing significant yield loss. And if the entire flag leaf is covered with stripes, you could end up with up to 50% yield loss. So you don't want it on the flag leaf at all.